Well, you say we should go round things that interrupt our flow, but when I see a shortcut, it is there I want to go. Patiently you wait for me until we're both delayed, and you wonder would I ever see. That's how Oxbow Lakes are made. Well, you know how this will tire me as you wait round the bend. You say you still admire me, but you want it all to end. And you tell me there's no hurry, by reason I'm not swayed, and I give you cause to worry. That's how Oxbow Lakes are made. Now I could not see it coming as I punched on ahead, till walls collapsed around me, and a glance filled me with dread that I had left you stranded, and a dreadful price was paid as out to sea I headed, and an Oxbow Lake was made. Some reward for patience and faithful loyalty, as a river burst its banks and it washed all over me, through the new cut channel in a thundering cascade. Now I'm lost in a pounding ocean, while an Oxbow Lake was made. I'm lost in a pounding ocean, while an Oxbow Lake was made, was made. My granddad drove a steam train, my father drove a truck, right across North Africa, taken prisoner at Tobruk. And when the war was over, and he'd returned from hell, my granddad got promoted to the pretty Brighton Belle. Her color scheme was brown and cream, some called it sand and sable. There were curtains at the windows and a lamp on every table. Her job to drive all cares away and luxury propel us from the tears, the war-torn years on the pretty Brighton Belle. The train stopped at the platform, let out a cloud of steam. My father walked me through it like entering a dream. and he gave me to my granddad, and no one saw to tell how I rode on the footplate of the pretty Brighton Belle. My mother pushed her bicycle, my father drove away. The railway went electric, Grandad went to work each day. In a clean shirt every morning, and he came home clean as well. The best, he said, was when he quit the pretty Brighton Belle. In the middle of the platform on East Croydon Station, standing in a glass case, was an ancient stuffed Alsatian, collecting for the orphans of the railway men who fell in the war that came before the pretty Brighton Belle. I want clear water from here to the horizon. Want some calm sea for the journey still ahead. Fair weather as we head up through the skyline, and a clear sky in the morning, and every sunset red. I want clear water as we sail out to the edge, and all I wanna hear is the ripple from the bar. Let us be at ease now and know our true position, like a compass to the star, like the team hooked to the plow. And as for all the history, best and left unwritten, few would believe if we told all we have seen. Comedy and tragedy have come along unbidden, and they are the port and star, and we sail between. Just one clear water from here to the horizon. Maybe scarred and battered, but who'll say we were wrong? When the journey, not the goal, was the only thing that mattered, and the wounds you thought had healed could still be opened by a song. If we hear the timbers creak, it will be the give and take. Forces from outside, for we know our craft is strong. As long as we can speak without raising our voices, and the music of the storm is in the calming of the song. And at night upon the deck, I want to feel the salty spray, like warm tears on my face for the passing of the day, and watch the wheeling stars till the light breaks in the east. May the journey never end, let me be at peace. I want clear water from here to the horizon. Want some calm sea for the journey still ahead. Fair weather as we head out from the skyline, and the clear sky in the morning, and every sun's in rain. Gertrude and Alice moved to Paris and lived on the Rue Fleury. They played their part in promoting new art by buying a painting or two. Pablo and George were able to forge a mutual dependency based on selling their paintings, tacitly stating it was duty as well as good taste. Alice's looks, Gertrude's books created a social world. In their arty salon they worked hard to get on with each of Pablo's new girls. When war arrived, Miss Stein learned to drive and ordered a brand new Ford. She rattled round Paris with passenger Alice, and they helped in the hospital ward. Poor Madeleine gets caught in the rain. This morning she has no defenses. Last night with only she left her parapluie. Now she's soaked to the skin as she hurries shakily, while soldiers shiver in trenches. Books Gertrude wrote gave rise to the quote, a rose is a rose is a rose. Though quite what it meant, or its literal intent, was never quite fully disclosed. The cold morning mist slowly lifts over the river's end. Monsieur Caron returns for his gloves. His wife's still undressed and he stays and makes love. And now he is late for his train. Artists and writers stimulate and excite us, though most of them alpha and male. Alice heard Gertrude say that she found Hemingway paradoxically earnest and frail. Gertrude and Alice moved to Paris and lived on the Rue Fleury. They played their part in promoting new art by buying a painting or two. Daylight quickly fading, with his headache wearing off, the collar of his overcoat muffling his cough. A siren from a ship barely made him raise his head. Since he'd missed the boat to Malmo, he tried Gothenburg instead. Outside the snow was falling like torn up bedding slips, confetti for the jilted wedding night of passing ships. And if they ever find her, she'll be one more on the list. And if they never find her, how long would she be missed? Black skeletons of cranes against the snow at night. Witness dockside shadows that negotiate the night. Lost souls flew like seagulls who have slipped their earthly chains, risen and returned as the snow turns into rain. While the Filipino sailors with a flag from Panama silently slipped moorings, he stayed anchored at the bar. The barmaid poured his beer without a second glance and set it on the counter with a shot of Gammel Dansk. Any dockside dive is a harbor, not a home. Life is black and white, and the world is monochrome. While the Filipino sailors with a flag from Panama left the harbor safety to the open sea once more, their world moved slowly backwards as the vessel headed past. He leaned forward on the counter and drained another glass. As he pulled out his cigarettes, loose change spilled on the floor, like a clue left for the cleaner as he tilted out the door. And through the bones of cranes the wind began to blow. Birds settled on the water and the rain turned back to snow. Amongst the tins of nails and things is where Grandad and me turned his shed into a church of masculinity. No female bothered to intrude into our sacred space, content in manly solitude or in shared embrace. Tobacco, oil and creosote, this temple's incense clung to perfumed piney wooden walls where voodoo Gaspars hung, where priestly purple bottled meth along with tins of screws and ancient saws and chisels stayed, and I never saw him use. This shed was never made for work, but built for sanctuary, where we both took communion, our biscuits with our tea. And I soaked up crumbs of knowledge there behind the creaking door, expounded on the day-to-day or times before the war. Shelves were ghosts of laughter slack, decayed to sooty dust. Time wrapped round those memories like moss and creeping rust. But in that sleep, the truth of dreams seeped into timber walls, until by simply breathing in, each one could be recalled, intending to rebuild his shed when Granddad passed away. Dismantled it to turn to dust till just 3 planks remained. So one for him, one for me, one for lives and schemes that overlap each history aboard this ship of dreams. Now Charlie Summers has a barber shop and the prettiest wife in town. I saw him on the street the other day. He said, "Why ain't you been around? Come in tomorrow and I'll give you a shave and it won't cost you a cent." I rubbed my chin in puzzlement, but the next day there I went. Now he didn't smile when I said hello. Climbed up on his chair. "Just a shave today," is all he said. "I ain't got time to cut your hair." And he tucked the towel around my neck and he pulled it back real tight. I rubbed my chin as I looked at him. I thought something around here ain't right. He took the cup and he whipped the soap and he slapped it on my jaw. I thought to myself, that's a little bit rough. The sun splashed on the floor. He covered my face till just my eyes peered out from under the phone. When I watched him move to the razor strop, I wished I'd stayed at home. Dropped that blade about 50 times, as miserable as sin. He jerked my whole head backwards, he put the razor under my chin. He leaned to my ear in a threatening tone that was full of stress and strife. His smoky breath scared me to death. He said, "You been seeing my wife?" "Charlie," I said as I spat out foam, "how long have we been pals? I don't know what you're talking about. It must be someone else. finished the shave and he toweled me down, and I went to pay the bill. No charge to see, passed down to me, and I walked out past the till. Wondered what made him think of me, fooling with his wife. Him with a blade in his right hand, sharper than any knife. Now whether or not he hit the truth, I will take it to my grave. But when I rub my chin, I think of him. That was a pretty close shave. This is for those who were lucky enough to fall in love when they were young. Not just that usual teenage stuff, a fumble of feelings or fingers and tongues, intertwining grief, touch like trembling leaves. This is for those who were really free, or locked in a mutual field of vision. Each other's eyes are all they see. The jail without walls, an open prison. Even when apart, in earshot of the heart. This is for those who, knowing the risk through caution to the wind of chance, abandoned in the singing mist, as on the precipice they danced. Seeds of sycamore spinning to the floor. This is for those who without complaint lay on a bed of their own making. Their sated hunger left them faint through fitful sleep to cool away. For their pity's sake, the cradling bud must break. This is for those who love so strong that it shattered the rocks and left them aching, stunned into silence, both deafened and dumb by the terrible sound of one heart breaking. Charred an acrid breeze, lightning blackened trees. This is for those who were lucky enough to fall in love when they were young. Was a child, I thought as a child we sang hymns at the close of the day. but now I'm a man. I put away childish things, but there's sometimes I wish I could pray, just to thank someone when the danger is past, when return to your family and friends, or for comfort when you're tired and you're scared and have problems that seem will not end. Sometimes I wish I could pray. Sometimes I wish I could pray. Most of the time I'm doing okay, but there's sometimes I wish I could pray. To believe everything has been planned in advance by one who looks down and is pleased, or to lift up your eyes and to thank someone when you're humbled and brought right down to your knees. Sometimes I wish I could pray. Sometimes I wish I could pray. Most of the time I'm doing okay, but there's sometimes I wish I could pray. Just to thank someone for the stars and the sun, for the cry of a baby at birth, or to believe there's a home way up high in the sky when our journey is done on this earth. Sometimes I wish I could pray. Sometimes I wish I could pray. Most of the time I'm doing okay, but sometimes I wish. Sometimes I wish. There's sometimes I wish I could pray. I'm no good at being noble. We're not talking kings and queens. The problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans. And if a hill of beans should tumble, who'd care or notice that they spill? Daylight burns night dreams and crumbles them to ashes unfulfilled. But we'll always have those days in Paris, and you'll only have to live the live on memory to keep and cherish. Don't cry, here's looking at you, kid. got a job to do. Mere words ring sweet but hollow. You can't be part of what I do. Where I'm going, you can't follow. But we'll always have those days in Paris, and you'll only have to live the live. Our memory to keep and cherish. Don't cry, here's looking at you, kid. In all the world and gin joints in the town, she walks right into mine. Goddamn, you played it for her, play it for me. Play it, Sam. February 63, the cold will chill your bones. There's a couple walking down the road, West 4th Street and Jones. Shoulders hunched against the cold, they walk through melting snow. She smiles for the camera, and he affected not to know. His hands deep in his pockets, his head was slightly bowed. All the studied nonchalance that the weather would allow. Her arms wrapped round him like a shawl to keep him from the cold. Love so warm can melt away what once she had to hold. Spring came late in 63, and it faded like a kiss. Winter came in early, landed like a fist. When Kennedy got shot in that Lincoln limousine, drenched us all in blood and splintered bone, right on a TV screen. When I kissed my girl on Gower Street, how was I to know that we'd begun to drift apart? As I stumbled through Soho in the unforgiving neon light, the words she couldn't speak were written in her mascara that dried upon my cheek. But the world will keep on turning, young lovers drift apart. Bob and Susie's rhyming steps leave their footprints on the hearth in the jingle jangle morning. Dylan and Rotalo in a freeze frame photograph, eternally tomorrow.